Here we go. So you Luna Classic, remember guys, this is our top, this is our bottom, this is our mid phantom. When we cross over from one side to the other, we pay attention to that area. This is a special sword cut I call step ups, okay? Or mid phantom step ups. So this is your mid phantom line, and it's an angle. It's a special angle that you can only see if you drew correctly the angle. Okay, this angle is correct. Therefore, this angle is invisible, but it's here. Okay, if price were to fall magically to the bottom, it may find support right here. It often does. But the other place it can find support is at the moment where there's prices cross over. And to my knowledge, I'm one of the only people, or if not the only person who teaches this. So this is called a step up, what I call a step up. And you can see that price broke above, and then after it started rounding down, it came and found support at that line, and then we bounced again, and it bounced again, and then this time we came down, but now there's a new top that formed. And you could see that we just kind of spiked and touched this bottom. And then we came up again. Now people are like, oh no, we are not going up. Just because we spiked below it doesn't mean anything. We need to close below that and build structure, preferably if we're going down, we need to be below this line and building structure. Otherwise, we can just play until, you can see this top right here, until this top and until this floor come together around September 15th, we could be playing and bouncing up and down in this area for quite some time. And I talked about this on August 20th on our video in our dive, and I've talked about this, and so I want you guys to just know that we examined this area. And the other thing about this area that we examined was we examined the volume. And when we saw in the volume, I can see massive buying coming in at this area. This area is like going sideways, so therefore it starts becoming consolidation, which means that you can almost draw a block from here to here, and if price ever breaks above that block and starts building on that block, it's like building a really strong support, and that becomes very bullish and healthy. So I want you guys to just be aware, as like we talk about in dive all the time in dive, every time we're asked about Luna, I'm letting you guys know there is institutional buying along this line. And this is what I said in my previous videos, and you guys can all testify who are my dive members, that because it's hugging the line so much irregularly with institutional buying, they're buying up all the supply. So once the supply is all dried up, in almost overnight, you're going to see price just go really, really high. And I've talked about this many times, especially as we get closer to the burn, which right now, some of the intel is coming out publicly that there will be a burn around, and I have a date. Now I'm going to get that date for you guys in just a moment. But yes, I told you guys in the video, and it's recorded, that we would be expecting prices to start boosting up from there. Now, I'm letting you guys know, here's the next Luna chart from August 22nd. We marked this area like a block as consolidation. Okay, I told you guys, see, September 15th, that's where these lines come together. So you can see price could play in that area for quite some time if it wanted to, or it could just pop up and bring us to the next zone. And then what we'd want to do is we'd want to touch this line and then go up and build up. And this is why I'm teaching you guys this map. Now, I need you guys to learn how price works based on its own structure, because you can go back in history and verify that principles work and that price reacts to itself, and that can really give you a better edge in seeing what's going on, because the markets are a game designed to make you emotional. They're designed to make you lose. They're designed to make you become very like, oh no, what's happening, like that. But if you can see the board moves in advance, weeks in advance, months in advance in some cases, you can react accordingly. So when stuff happens, you're not flipping out or getting into a bad position, or if you are in a bad position, you're the first to see it and you have time to react accordingly, saying, hey, I'm going to cut my loss. This is too risky. If you didn't already buy at this line of Luna, you would have wanted to buy when we're on top of this line and let somebody else take the risk, because we can go up and down here indefinitely. You could take profit here or get back in, or just wait long term for prophetic numbers. But I'm in because I'm a prophetic numbers, and I can also see that this is the places to buy. So you guys can see I made a video that day about that. All right, now let's go to our final day, a final chart with Luna for going over this weekend, because you guys need to see what's happening. Okay, so you can see that we challenged from that bottom. We challenged the line, came down. We did not play in here anymore. We just popped up, but we popped up all the way past here on some good news. We popped past here. Now, news doesn't mean a hill of beans in the grand scheme of things unless you can use that news to cross dangerous territories, because I told people that if we break above here, we're going to need to challenge now the blue line. If we challenge the blue line, price can come back down, but that's not what happened. The news was such as to put us up here and get us a close significantly above the blue line. So therefore, this arrow right here, and I drew in green, is what we want to happen next. That means we want to build structure on top of this blue line. Are we building structure on top of the blue line when we had this close yesterday? Yes or no? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Team, that's one of the best scenarios that can happen. You can see that we came here and we not only that, we came up here and we came all the way down and collected this energy. It's like rallying the troops. All these guys are saying, hey, these people who are selling, now they have to close their positions. They add to the buying along this track. As long as you're not closing below this line again, building structure down here, then for the most part, we're bullish. And we're more safer now. We're in a good position. We're not a weak holder anymore. We're a strong holder. In fact, we're really sitting pretty, because not only did we beat this blue line, which was based on the cores, okay, we also beat the gray line and collected that. And I wrote this down. I said, because price is now closed above the blue line and it has collected energy from the previous resistance gray line, Luna is now in an even stronger bullish position. This was one of the best scenarios that can play out. I am now expecting upper targets to be hit. I don't know if upper prophetic targets will be hit, or at this time, I don't know if they're going to be hit at these moments. But I did have a dream that we went high and came back down again. So I think there's going to be a time to take some profits, but already everyone should be in some profits. I already made a couple $1,000, so I was happy with this one, and I'm using it for my transitions and my trips. But you guys got to know the next real targets are now up here. Okay, this is the next targets up here, and I put a box around here, meaning I'm expecting us to hit some of these 0.00022. Now, if you take profits, beware of taking a lot of profits, because we're still expecting the prophetic numbers to be hit, and some of the numbers now have been raised. And I think, as I last talked about it, I believe that the Lord has been extending those targets. So we had targets at 1 cent. We had targets at 1.5 cents. We had targets at $1. We had targets at $10. Some even prophetically saw price even hit $100 on Luna Classic, but just for a very, very brief time. So if it hits those numbers, some of you guys are going to have orders fulfilled, and you guys are going to be multimillionaires almost overnight with just, like $1,000. Some of you guys are going to, you're not going to have all your profits. I don't want you guys putting all of your targets at some of these higher levels for the sake of liquidity. And this is everything in this video is not financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. Bear in mind, I eat red crayons for breakfast. They taste fantastic with chorizo burritos. But please bear in mind that to read between the lines per my YouTube disclosure. Okay, trading incurs financial risks. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and please stay away from leverage during these times in this season, because there's a lot of volatility, pumps and dumps. But what I'm saying is, some of you guys may want to just have a portion of your profits. So I'm gonna mute people real quick. Some of you guys may want to have a portion of your profits at 1 cent, some at $1, some at $1.30, some at $10, some at maybe $100. But I wouldn't put everything at one level just because of liquidity's sake. You may not get filled on your exchange. Everyone should pray about it, or what they should do. And it's good to place several limit orders. And then remember, if you do withdraw, do not withdraw everything right away. You need to trade it into a stable coin, and then maybe take that stable coin and do out at a time. But the goal is going to be to move our money off the exchange. I did a special video on YouTube, and it uses the word Milton. So if you guys, I want you guys to watch that movie, Milton. We're going to need to watch that video again. But Milton from JSON Telegram community, he has his own video channel too, and he's still very active in the JSON community. He's a man of God, and the Lord showed him a very specific way of how to withdraw the funds. Because if you make so much money and try to withdraw a very large amount of money, your exchange will think and use it as an excuse that it's fraud, and they'll say, "Oh, well, we suspected fraud on your account, and we're going to reverse your transaction." It is in their incentive to do that because the exchanges don't have all the money to pay out everyone, because they're borrowing that money and using the money that they borrow from you to buy Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin's value goes really low, especially if it goes to zero and for just a short time and then goes back to 10,000, which is what I'm expecting, 10,000 to 13,000 over a period of time, somewhere around those numbers, okay? I'm expecting that. If that happens, these exchanges won't be able to pay out everybody. And that's why you're seeing exchanges closing left and right. I think in the last 2 months ago, we saw like 24, 25 exchanges close in just 1 month. And some of these exchanges are being sued and having lawsuits. Some of their CEOs are just packing up and going to Tahiti and the like. So be careful when it comes to all these things, okay, guys? I'm just letting you know there's a watch.